Hi everyone, I hope you're doing awesome. I'm going to be showing you how I make this DIY natural face mist and toner with some amazing natural plant herbs. This toner and facial mist feels amazing on your skin. It's super hydrating. It has some good skin benefits as well. So I'm going to show you my process for making this DIY herbal mist and toner. My process step by step. So let's jump right in. And if this is your first time stopping by, my name is Esther and I make DIY hair and skincare videos. And I also sell my products on my website. If you want to check that out, I'll have that linked in the description box. So let's jump right in. As always, I'll have the complete formula in the description box. So there are two parts to this formula. The first part is going to be making the hydrosol. So to make the hydrosol, I'm going to use dried herbs, and I'm going to get started with lavender herbs. So lavender is really good for your skin. It's going to help soothe your skin, calm any redness or irritation. And the next herb I'm going to be using is some hibiscus herbs. Hibiscus is rich in antioxidants and it has some amazing anti-aging benefits for your skin. So now that I have all my herbs, I'm going to add some distilled water. The distilled water is going to help hydrate the herbs. You can use fresh herbs as well. This is just what I had. So I'm just going to soak up the herbs for some time. You can do this for a couple of hours, but I did mine for about 45 minutes. Just to give the herbs, some hydration because they're really dry. So that way when I'm making the hydrosol, it just makes the whole process so much easier. So after mixing everything all up, I just set this aside, waited about 45 minutes, and then I started the whole process for making the hydrosol. So I have my pot that I'm going to be using, and I also have an attachment. I don't know what this is called, but it's going to help raise up my glass container that I'm going to be using. You need something to elevate your container that's going to collect the hydrosol. So that's what I did here. Then I'm going to just add in my herbs. I'm going to fill the pot. So you don't want to put your container flat on the pot's surface, on the bottom of the pot. I hope I'm making sense. So you do want something that's going to raise up your container. So that's why I had this first. So I'm just putting all the herbs, and then I'm going to put some more distilled water. You want to use enough water to cover the herbs. You don't want to fill the pot all the way to the top. So just put enough distilled water to cover the herbs. You might need to replace this when you're doing the whole hydrosol process. And I just mixed it a little bit just to make sure everything was covered. And then I used my heat safe container. I used my glass bowl. You want to make sure that anything you're using is heat safe. You don't want anything to break when you're making your hydrosol. So I'm putting my heat safe container here. So that's why you need that elevation. You need something to raise up your glass or heat safe container. So that way your hydrosol is going to collect into this container when the whole process starts. So I hope this makes sense. So I have my lid. Once again, everything has been cleaned, everything has been sanitized. So I'm going to put this on medium heat, and once everything starts to simmer, not boil, but once everything starts to simmer, you're going to see the steam collect on the lid. So that's what's going to happen. So once I see that happening, once I see the steam collecting, I'm going to get my ice. I'm going to use ice for the hydrosol process. So the ice makes the whole process go by so much easier. So what the ice does in this hydrosol process, the best way I can explain this is when the steam hits the lid, the ice is going to help make the steam condense into droplets of water, and that's what's going to go inside your bowl. So if you can see here, you can see this droplets of water, and that's going to go inside the bowl. This process does take some time. It took me about 40 minutes or so, and I had to replace my bag of ice again. So it's not something that you do expecting a ton of hydrosol. It does take some time to get any hydrosol at all, so you do have to be patient. So I did replace my bag of ice, like I said, a second time, and this whole process took about 40 minutes. And once I was done, this is what I had so far that I had collected in the hydrosol. Everything was still so hot, so I just set it aside to cool. So once my hydrosol had cooled off, this is what it was looking like. So it has a clear appearance, which is typical for hydrosols. It's not going to have color because of the steam process of getting the hydrosol. So it's going to be a clear appearance. So I'm just going to weigh this out so that way I can add in my preservative. So I was able to get 286 grams of hydrosol. After this whole process, that's what I was able to get. So I'm going to add in my preservative. I'm using Louicidal Complete as my preservative. Some people don't use preservatives in their hydrosols. They just recommend storing it in the fridge, and it can last up to 6 months that way. But for my peace of mind, I am going to be using a preservative. So I'm just going to mix this all in, and then I'm going to store this in my container, and then I'm going to move on to the second step of making the mist and toner. To make the mist and toner, I'm going to be using lavender hydrosol. Lavender hydrosol helps to soothe your skin. It's going to help tighten up the pores on your skin and reduce redness. And then I'm going to add in some witch hazel hydrosol. So the witch hazel hydrosol has anti-inflammatory benefits, and it's also going to help reduce redness on your skin. And then I'm going to add in the herbal hydrosol we just made, and I'm going to add in some distilled water. I'm also adding in some apple cider vinegar extract. This is good for problem skin. It has antifungal benefits, and it's also going to help restore the natural pH balance of your skin. If you don't have this, you can either skip this, or you can just use regular apple cider vinegar, but you might have some of the smell from the apple cider vinegar. I'm going to add some glycerin because I'm going to mix my preservative. The preservative I'm using is Euxyl K903. It's not very soluble in water, so I'm adding this into the glycerin so that way it can mix better and properly into my mixture. I went on to check the pH. I just poured out a small amount of my mixture, used my pH meter to take the reading, and it was at 3.52, which is on the low side. So I added in some sodium phytate to help raise up the pH. And after doing this, I mixed and took the reading a second time, and the same process, poured out a small amount of the product, used my pH meter, and the final pH was at 5.01, which is perfect. The pH of our skin is between 4.5 to 5.5, and that's pretty much it. The mist, the toner is ready, and I'm just going to go on and package this up. And this made 113 gram of product. It is a little bit hazy, and I'm thinking it's from the Louicidal complete preservative. Sometimes it can have a hazy appearance, but so far this is what everything is looking like, and this smells amazing. Lavender just smells so good, and this is super hydrating on your skin. So you would just use this like any toner, facial mist. You can use this to refresh your skin, or you can use this after cleansing your skin to remove any excess oil or dirt that may be remaining on your skin. So I hope you enjoyed this formula. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. And please don't forget to subscribe if you've not, and also like this video and turn on your notifications. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.